Good morning everyone and very warm welcome to one and all and welcome to Asquare Classes. As we are going on with as we all know, we are going on with your ecology sessions and we have completed two previous classes of ecology by introduction of ecology, and we have seen organism, population, species, communities. We have come to the up to succession. What is succession? We have seen in previous class. Succession, I said you, succession is something which grows on a barren land or a plant or organism lifespan seen or present on a barren areas. Such type of growth is called as succession. Yes, I said that. Then I have said you few important points in succession. I have told you pioneer community. I told you pioneer community is that community which comes and exists in the first time, or the first community to get existed in the succession or in the barren land. That type of community is called as pioneer community. Then I told you is the climax community. Climax community, I told you, it's a very stable community and it's very last to come. It shows a great interaction between the physical environment and the surrounding, and the interrelationship or the interaction between this climax community is more appropriate with compared to pioneer community. Then I have told you what is serial stage or serial community. I said serial stage or serial community is the community which exists between the pioneer community, and the climax community, right? I have said very clear, made every point very clear it. Then we have seen the different types of spheres like hydrosphere, xerosphere, halosphere, samosphere. Every sphere we have seen what are those spheres and why are they called as that point. When we see succession in pure water, fresh water, we call it as hydrosphere. When we see succession in a salty water, we call it at halosphere. Halo is something related to salt, so we call as halosphere. Similarly, now as on we are moving with the succession topic, we are going to read or understand a very important part or few important terms. How does succession occurs? What is the important variations in the succession? We are going to see the very first point in the communities or the show of action or the probable interaction between the species, what kind they show during the succession. The very first point is, you can give the heading as you can even give the heading as why we need to classify, why we need to read this all point, why succession is very important. Everywhere when we move forward this chapter, you will understand why succession was very important and why I have taught you in a very beginning. Because when you understand these things, it makes you things easier to understand. Temperature, eurythermal, polythermal organism, eucholothermal organism, that makes you understand. When your mind develops, you understand clear concept, that makes you easy to understand. That's why I have taught you succession in the very beginning. So I was going to tell you the heading. The heading goes with communities respond or communities interaction during succession. Communities interaction during succession. The very first point it says is the development of long-lived plant. The development of long-lived plant is seen. Development of long-lived plant is seen, and it replaces the short-lived plant. Short-lived plant. Clear? I said the development of long-lived plant is seen and it replaces the short-lived plant. Before the succession, there was a barren land. I told you what is barren land yesterday, previous class. I have made it very clear. In the barren land, there were few organisms or the few plants which have very short lifespan. Their height was tall. Their photoperiodism was small. I told you response to the sun. Those plants which respond to the sun is called as photoperiodic plants. Remember? So I am telling that those plants, when they were short-lived, were replaced. When succession occurs, the long-lived plant, the lifespan of the plant increases. That is why it is called as replacement of long-lived plant is seen, and it replaces the short-lived span. Short-lived plant. Then comes the community shows or move towards the stable or climax. Stable or the climax side or to the climax part. See, from similar, it meant from unstable to stable. It moves from unstable to stable. And what do you mean by this stable? This stable is meant that it attains equilibrium. Equilibrium. With the, it attempts equilibrium with the surrounding physical environment. I said, very first point, the development of long-lived plant is seen and it replaces the short-lived plant. Clear? That point is specified? Yes. Then comes the community shows or move towards the stable or climax side. Why it is shown is climax or why it is said to be stable side? Because when it attains equilibrium. When the community attains equilibrium with the surrounding or with the physical environment, it is said to be a stable community. Wow, what kind of equilibrium? When the interaction between them is more appropriate. Exchange of things, exchange of material is more appropriate. That time it is called as what? Stable community. That time it is called as what? Stable community. When interaction, when exchange of material, exchange of information, exchange of things in them is more realistic. That time the community is said to be a stable community. Clear? Okay. Then comes there is increase in biomass species formation and humus content. During this process, during succession, what all I am talking about, this all is going to happen during succession. What do communities respond? How do communities respond during succession? What are the things they show during succession? What it is said, there is increase in biomass, species formation and humus content. Fertility of soil is retained back. From the barren areas, the weathering of rocks occur and soil try to gain its fertile. Loosening of the soil is occurred, and that's the reason we get a more humus content in the soil. Plants grow, ecosystem is maintained. That is mostly seen in where? That is mostly seen in succession. Clear? Okay. Then, but there is decrease in annual yield of plant, annual yield or net productivity. Net there is decrease in annual yield or net productivity. Why you can say there is net decrease in net productivity? When there is more amount of consumption of the things, more amount of consumption in the energy to grow, to require, to attain stability, to use the energy, to more appropriately exchange of energy, consumption of energy is required. So the net yield attained or the net amount of productivity of the energy decreases. That's what it is said. Next point is succession and evolution would be parallel in nature. Succession, things evolve, plants evolve, organisms evolve, entity involve, there is a proper growth, there is a proper growth of ecosystem, there is a proper successive land. That's why it is said evolution and succession would go as parallel way. These two things are very parallel, very particular. Clear that this is the pointers. Next comes, I'll write it over here, okay, no issues. Description of succession would lead to find out the climatic and vegetation changes. What it is said, when you study more about succession, when you study more detail about succession, you would able to find about climatic and vegetation changes that occurs. You are easily able to understand what are the climatic changes going on, what are the vegetation changes going on. When you come to know about these two changes equally, appropriately, you conclude when you come to know about these changes, you conclude the number of new animals and plants. When does this happen? This happens when you come to know about these changes. When you clearly come to know about these changes, you clearly conclude which organism, which animal, which plant can grow in such subsequent areas. That time you can say, yes, it is a successive. Yes, it is an appropriate succession which is going on. As of you have studied a detailed description about succession. When you come to know about the species, when you come to know about the plants, when you come to know about the animals, you also come to know about, you also come to know about the transient processing species. Clear? You come to know about transients when you come to know pioneer, when you come to know climax species, when you study about it in description, you come to know about succession, and that time you come to know about the transient species. Got it? That time is the reason when you come to know about the transient species. This is all the pointers. Now we are going to see what are the factors which influence the succession. So can you guess what are the factors which actually influence the succession? Any guesses? Guess, what do you think? What are different factors which can actually influence the succession? It can be biotic, it can be abiotic, and many more. Let's see. Yes, now we are going to see two types of things, that is causes of succession, and then we are going to see types of succession. What are the factors which influence? What are the major causes of succession? So, next heading is causes of succession. It can be two major causes, that is, it can be two major causes, that is biotic factors or biotic causes or physiographic. Biotic factors are those these are the factors which affect the living phenomena. What it is said, biotic factors are those factors which affect the living phenomena, and due to continuous interaction of seer, I told you yesterday, I've taught you yesterday what is seer. Seer, transient community with the physical environment due to continuous interaction of seer transient community with the physical environment leads to exchange of excessive matter, which causes succession. Clear? And why this is done? To attain, this is done to attain stability. This is done to attain what I said there are two major causes of succession. First, it involved biotic factors. Second, it involved physiographic factors. Now you should say me, ma'am, you are telling me cause and you are telling me factors. Cause is the reason why it is caused, but these are those things. Factors is what? These are those entity, or these are those things which leads to succession. Clear? Mark my words, okay? The factors which affect the living phenomena is called as biotic factors. Second thing, how does this factor affect succession? It affects in this way: due to continuous interaction of seer, the transient species or community with the physical environment leads to exchange of excessive matter, excessive energy. When there is loss of excessive matter, excessive energy from a living source, they die and they lead to barren land formation. And when barren land forms, then there where a new plant replaces the old one, or the dead mild with a diseased plant, that is called as succession. Clear? I told you, right? And this is done by to attain stability. Why excessive matter is exchanged from the plant, from the organism, from the animals, etc., etc., etc. This is done to attain stability. Why? How? When they interact with the environment, when they come to know, they exchange the energy, they do their function, and that time they come to know the exchange of matter is excessive during the time or the source to become a stable species, to get a climax species, and that time you can lead to succession. Clear? Now next point is physiographic factors. What is this physiographic factor? This factor is caused by natural calamities, which includes soil deposition, unwanted soil deposition, soil erosion, feminism, due to excessive barren land, there is no source of the food, people die through hunger, that is called as feminism, and the area becomes completely barren. That is what feminism is. Soil deposition, soil erosion, feminism, earthquakes, volcanoes, etc. You can even take sand dunes. Landslides also can be included. Take it as landslides. What I have said, what are the physiographic factors? This factor is caused by natural calamities. Any natural calamities which affecting leading to the barren land, and when the barren land is created, there grows a new plant that is called a succession. So this can also be a very important part of succession. What are those? Soil deposition, soil erosion, feminism, earthquakes, volcanoes, land dunes, and landslide. This forms barren soil, and when on this barren soil new plant develop replacing the old one, leading to succession. Clear? Got it? How? What are the factors? Now we are going to see type of factors, or the type of things which affect types of succession. Next heading, types of succession. Types of succession involve basically two types: primary succession, secondary succession, which involves primary succession and secondary succession. What is this primary succession? The succession seen on the barren area or the land where no life exists earlier. Such type of succession, the succession seen on the barren area or the land where no life exists earlier, is called as, it almost takes thousands of years to occur. Clear? Now comes secondary succession. Secondary succession is the succession seen on the area where life has existed previously. And the barren is mostly caused by, barren land is caused by what? Volcanoes, earthquakes, sand dunes, volcanoes, earthquakes, sand dunes, etc. When barren land is caused by this any of the reason, when barren land is caused by this causes but already their life exists, that type of succession is called as secondary succession, and it almost takes 50 to 100 years to grow. 100 years to grow. Clear? Any doubt? No. Now, we will see two major types of succession stages, and the very important in it is hydrax succession or hydrosphere succession. What is hydrosphere? I told you in the last class. Hydrosphere is basically the growth or the succession seen in the fresh water is called as hydrosphere. Before we go to it, I'll tell you what we have come up to. We have come, how do communities respond to succession? What are the respondent of the communities to the succession? And we have seen 7 to 8 proper fundamental points. What is it and how could be it? Clear? Then we have saw causes of succession. What are the causes of succession? We have seen two things. What are those? Those include, the very first one is primary factors or biotic factors, and the second one which includes is a physiographic factor. I told you physiographic factor can be volcanoes, landslides, land dews, etc. And biotic factors is basically interaction between the two species which leads to loss of energy from the organism and causes the succession. Clear? Then we have seen the types of succession. What are the types of succession? We have seen two basic types of succession which involves primary succession, secondary succession. Primary succession is a succession which is seen where the life has never ever existed previously. It is mostly seen in the totally barren areas, which is more, almost takes up for thousands of years. Clear? Then we have seen the secondary succession. Secondary succession, we have seen that life existed previously. How do life existed previously? There were only replacement of species. There was only replaced species from old species. They got replaced to the new species, and such type of succession is called as secondary succession. Clear? There is a cause of barren area which is caused by mostly landslides, volcanoes, earthquakes, etc., etc., etc. And it almost takes 50 to 100 years for the succession or this type of succession. Next, we are going to see in a depth or stages of hydrosphere. Give the topic stages of hydrosphere. So, we were going to see the few points I told you, stages of few important succession. And those two succession were two things, lithosphere and hydrosphere. So, in hydrosphere, what does it happen? Whenever there is succession seen in a fresh water, what it is said, stages of hydrosphere, or it is also called as hydrax succession, in nearly formed pond or lake or fresh water. I have told you we are going to see stages of few important succession. Two important successions, that are hydrosphere and lithosphere. Previous class I have told you 5 spheres, right? Hylosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere, samosphere. Remember, those spheres I am talking about. Among those two spheres are very important. Those we are going to see in the form of stages. How does the succession occurs on that area, on that place, on that fresh water, or on that rock. Okay, so here comes. So, I said hydrosphere. Hydrosphere is also called as hydrax succession. It is mostly seen, or it is mostly seen in freshwater pond or lake. In doubt? No. Clear? Then comes, it includes basically few stages which are 6 to 7 stages. This includes phytoplankton stage. Second stage is rooted submerged stage. Third is free floating stage. third one is reed swamp stage, and the next one is sedge, next one is shrub stage, and then comes the last one, that is forest stage. Forest stage. Please don't forget, it goes on like this: first stage, second stage, third stage, fourth stage, fifth, sixth, and seventh. The first stage is phytoplankton stage. Phytoplankton stage is the organic phase. Organic phase which gives nutrient. And the very good example of it is cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria, which is also called as, come on, tell me fast, this everyone knows, this BGA. Blue-green algae, it is not an algae, it is a bacteria. I said you, we have learned living world very properly, and I have also said you why this cyanobacteria is called as blue-green algae. Clear? Yes. So I have said it is an organic phase which gives the nutrient, and the example of it is cyanobacteria, which is also called as BGA, that is blue-green algae. क्लियर बच्चों, समझ में आया मैंने क्या कहा कि ये फाइटोप्लैंक्टन स्टेज है और इसमें हम ये बेसिकली ऑर्गेनिक फेज है जो न्यूट्रिएंट देता है, और उसका वेरी गुड एग्जांपल क्या है, इसमें पाई जाने वाली इस फेज में जो स्टेज में जो माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म सक्सेशन में दिखेंगे उसका एग्जांपल है साइनोबैक्टीरिया. क्लियर. नेक्स्ट स्टेज कम्स रूटेड स्टेज. व्हेन दिस ऑर्गेनिज्म फ्लोट्स there comes encouragement. Can you see? There comes encouragement, and when this gets submerged, it is called as rooted submerged. They grow into roots. That is the very good example of it is plant Vallisneria. Any doubt? Okay. Then comes free floating stage. The next stage is when the organisms are free float over the surface of the lake or the surface of the fresh water. That is called as free floating stage, and the example of it we can say is plant Ecoria. Ecoria is plant where you can see most widely spread plant over the lake, over the pond, over the more systematically arrangement of the plant all over the surface of the lake, all over the surface of the ecosystem. That is called as freely floating. After freely floating, there comes a moderate way. That is, most part of these roots of plants remain exposed to air. They are now what? Exposed to air. See, first was what? Phytoplankton stage. Clear? Second was what? Rooted submerged stage. Okay? Third is what? Freely floating stage, and I told you example is Ecoria. Then comes reed swamp stage. Reed swamp stage is amphibious stage where before this the roots were encouraged or even floating in the water. I said you freely floating stage. Then comes this root freely are present in the air. We can see these roots in the air. That's why this is called as reed swamp stage or referred to as amphibious stage. Okay. Example of it is Typha and Azolla. Please don't forget the example. It is very, very important. Okay. And then comes the sedge or the grassy stage or the meadow stage where, or a marsh shadow stage where a muddy plants associated with the lots of mud, the roots are encouraged in the soil. Such kind of sedge, such kind of succession stage is called as sedge. What it is called as? It is called as sedge. That grows with all amount of mud. The nutrients get entrapped into the roots. That is called as what? Meadow stage or marshy stage. Then comes scrub stage. What is this scrub stage? Scrub stage is a woody shrubs or a tolerates water lodging. When there is shrubs are what? Shrubs are basically small amount of plant which floats on the water, and it does not grow more than almost 1 to 5 inch. Height of it is almost, we can say, 5 inch. Like if it is this above, if it's among of this height 5 inch, it grows, half of it is submerged into the pond or half of it is submerged into the water, and then it dips another part into the water, and then it grows in that way. That is called as shrubs, beautiful water shrubs. That's what it is said. That stage is called as scrub stage. Clear? Then after this shrubs, there develops a very foliaceous forest, that is the forest stage, and the very good example of it is oak tree, salix tree. Clear? This part of hydrosphere is clear. Any doubt? You please better go through examples, and I'll tell you what examples are very, very important. See, these are the examples, you have to know it, which includes, first is cyanobacteria, second is valicineria, which comes in second stage of succession, that is rooted submerged. Then comes ecorrhea. इकोराया, I told you, freely floating. जब भी freely floating की बात आएगा तो क्या सुनोगे आप? इकोराया. समझा? Next comes reed swamp stage. Reed swamp stage is these rooted plants remain exposed to air, and that is why it is called as amphibious state. Okay, and then comes the muddy phase, where the plants are encouraged into the soil, or lots of roots are accumulated with lots of soil. Then comes the scrub stage. The scrub stage is the stage of the shrubs. When the shrubs have 5 inch to 4 inch to 3 inch, and half of the part is immersed into the water, that is called as the scrub stage. Then comes the forest stage, and the forest stage, you see a huge hefty amount of forest trees, which is called as salix or oak tree. Clear? This is what the example of hydrosphere. These are the stages of hydrosphere. Got it? Now we are going to see the stages of the lithosphere. Yesterday I told you lithosphere. What is lithosphere? Lithosphere is succession seen. Lithosphere is succession seen on the rocks. Such type of succession is also called as lithosphere. बच्चों याद रखना, अगर मैंने पूछा हाइड्रोस्फीयर को क्या कहते हैं और another name for hydrosphere, you should pata say what is this hydrax succession. Don't forget what I'm teaching. It should be in your tips. Remember hydrosphere को क्या कहते हैं? Hydraxsphere. Once I ask you, it should be reminded always. Why? Because when you have a correlation of the things, it makes you easy. When it's such a spoon feeding thing, you have to just read one line and get it off. That's it. We have completed a big, huge, hefty 2 mains ka 3-page ka chapter in 5 to 6 points. Imagine studying 3 to 6 pages is so difficult. Why studying the 6 points and mugging up? That's it. What is this? This is very easy. Instead of wasting or getting through those 2 mains or any other books for AIIMS or any other book for NEET or for AIPMT older consideration, you better study from these notes, right? I'm giving you everything in just precise way. Just amount by it is mentioned for you. Just go through the 6 points. It's so easy to remember rather than reading this through 3 to 4 pages of those hefty amount of books. Isn't it easy? Choose it. We have to be very choosy, my friends. I told you yesterday also. It's easy. It's okay what we read. We have to read this. We have to read physics. We have to complete chemistry. We have to complete biology. But if you choose things in a precise way, in a concise way, and smart, get a smart idea. What you're studying, you should have a knowledge of it. What you're doing, you should know. Why I'm reading this? Instead of when you start asking question why for your syllabus, for yourself, that time you come to know, am I on the right track or am I losing something? You I believe you all. I am teaching future doctor. So you also believe yourself and just pack your bag and get ready to just on the urge to get a medical college. So, but for that you should remember these points on your fingertips. These are very important points. I can tell you the references also. These have been taken through lot of reference book. These have gone through lot of reference sheets and then it has been made. So better to read this point. It will make your job well and done in few minutes. And you can focus those time in the hard chapters of physics. You can focus those few hefty time in chemistry. Not only in chemistry, you can focus those time in botany, you can give that time in plant physiology, you can give that time in anatomy, you can give that time in morphology. We can, right? So it's easy to select and study and then get. We don't have to read all those books. वो book पढ़ेंगे हम लोग जब medical college पहुंच जाएंगे, वहां पे वही सब पढ़ना है. Medicine, सर्जरी, पैथोलॉजी, यही सब पढ़ते हैं हम. ईएनटी, यही बुक्स मिलते हैं. मेडिसिन इतनी मोटी मोटी बुक है, सारी किताबें पढ़नी होती. तब कोई नहीं बोलेगा कि बच्चा इतना ही पढ़ो, तब सब बोलेंगे कि पूरा पढ़ो. अभी तो कम से कम इतना पढ़ लो. इट इज दैट वाला केस. सो डू इट. वी हैव टू डू इट. गेट मोटिवेटेड एंड डू इट. एट बिकॉज इट्स इजी यार. इट्स रियली इजी. बट व्हेन यू थिंक एंड डू, नॉट चलो आज मुझे नीट करना है, 10-15 बुक निकाला लाइब्रेरी से, बैठ गए पढ़ने. Nothing will work on it. It will take years to complete you and get through the syllabus. Better read one book, one chapter, complete it. And NCERT should be on tips. बच्चे आप बोलते हो मैम NCERT, आप बोलते हो NCERT, ये सब तो NCERT. बच्चे NCERT में कहाँ है? फिर अगर मैं बोलूँ कि NCERT की पॉइंट समझो आप, वो एक एक लाइन इतना डीप में समझाता है. NCERT ने क्लियरली कह दिया फर्स्ट सेकंड फेज पे, सेकंड पन्ने पे उसका फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ है. इकोलॉजी mostly runs on 4 things. What? Organism, population, community and biomes. That's all. Uska kaam done. You have to go. What is organism? Types of organism. What can be its features? How does it works? How does it function? That is you who have to find out. समझ में आया कितना concise way है? What does it say in the beginning? Ecology runs on 4 words. Organism, population, community and biome. Now keep reading. Keep thinking what questions it can ask. क्योंकि उनका काम तो हो गया. They said that biome has been presented in your NCERT. That's all. But now what is your job? What is related to biomes? What have been asked in previous year questions? You know, तुमको पता है biomes से अकेले 4 to 5 questions पूछे जाते हैं. That is very very important. Never ever miss it at any cost. अभी हम just इसके बाद बहुत अच्छा phase start करने वाले हैं biomes का. And mark my words, nobody teaches ecology इतना depth में. Why? Because सबको लगता है अरे रट लो. It's not about रटना. You understand when you connect geography with ecology, you understand the beauty of this subject. It's that important. I'm motivating you to study ecology. Clear? After this, we are going to begin with very beautiful topic, and I want you should be motivated in that. That's why I'm teaching you and telling you these all things. Clear? Now let's come to lithosphere. Lithosphere, I said, succession seen on the rocks. That kind of succession is called as what? Is called as lithosphere. Then comes, इसके भी कुछ स्टेजेस हैं. इसके कौन कौन से स्टेजेस है? ये फर्स्ट स्टेज है, सेकेंड स्टेज है, ये थर्ड स्टेज है, फोर्थ स्टेज है, फिफ्थ है एंड सिक्स्थ है. ओके, फर्स्ट स्टेज क्या कहता है? Christos-lichen stage. Christos-lichen stage, which means first of all it is a pioneer community. अब याद आया pioneer community क्यों पढ़ाया था मैंने? क्यों पढ़ाया था pioneer community? What is pioneer community? Pioneer community is that community which is first to appear. So Christo, अगर आपसे पूछे कि lithosphere में वो कौन सा stage है which is first to appear है, आप क्या जवाब दोगे? It is Christos-lichen stage which is first to appear. Simple है. Pioneer community of lithosphere. सबसे बड़ा एग्जाम्पल क्या आ जाएगा? Christos-lichen stage, lichens, Christos-lichens. क्लियर? समझ में आया कितना लिंक जोड़ के पढ़ना है? That is it. And second thing, tolerates desiccation. What is mean by desiccation? Desiccation means loss of water. Loss of water. Desiccation means loss of water, and it produces organic acid. It produces organic acid, and this acid helps in weathering of rocks. What is this weathering of rocks? You should ask me. क्या होता है कि सबसे पहले succession, एक imagine rocks. This is a rock. I'll show you how. Come here. Chalo. This, imagine this is a rock. Okay. Now this is totally barren, and succession has to take place over here. When succession has to take place over here, this area should be completely absence of life. Why? Because we have seen on life grows when on barren areas, new life, that is called a succession. Clear? So when this is a clean rocks, there comes an organism. There comes a community to first to get arise, and that communities which is present on the rocks, that is called as lichen. 2018 and 19 का back-to-back questions है on lichens. Check कर लेना. It has come from living world also, and it has come from ecology also. So never miss lichens. Lichens and mosses तो अपने हाथ fingertips, keep on your fingertips. Wherever it is, you should pick it up. Your favorite question है बाबा. So when this is the rocks, this has a flat surface area covered with a first pioneer species in this is crustose lichen to occur. And when this community, suppose this is our lichen, it appears. Now it releases some important amount of organic acid. When this organic acid has been released, this lead to formation of breakdown of the rocks. These rocks get breakdown and lead to formation of soil. How do soil forms? Soil forms by breakdown of what? Rocks. Those soils contains minerals, and those minerals are exposed and nutrients are absorbed by the plant, and plant grows. This is so simple. And अगर ये वाला जो weathering वाला rock concept है, इसके बाद just हम soil पढ़ने वाले हैं, फिर आपको और अच्छे से clear हो जाएगा कि what is this weathering, और मैम ने ये क्या बताया था. अच्छा मैम ने lichens के लिए बताया था, वहां तक तो ठीक था, लेकिन आगे we will see in soil. Just after back-to-back two classes, we are going to start with soil. Clear? Then comes, so first minerals are used, and for own use, that is growth of plants can be seen. Then comes the second stage, that is foliage lichen stage. These are the large lichen. जो भी first they are small in size, but when they get nutrients, they grow in size, and when they grow in size, they forms large lichens with leafy thalli. They form what? Large lichens with leafy thalli. That is, it is called as what? It is called as foliage lichen stage. When they are small, that is called as crustose lichen stage, which are present on the rocks. When they grow up, increase in size with the constrictive thalli. यार ये तो एकदम, I think this is just a line of your answer. You will get it into, go through your 2018 question paper and tell me. You will definitely get this question. This direct question asked, lichen found on the rock species. The first stage is crustose, second is foliage, mosses, what are both? They were lichens and mosses both, and the first stage is what? Answer was crustose lichen stage. That's why I am teaching you this much, this all stages, because it is very important. Okay, and then comes moss stage. Mosses are just advanced one stage of lichens, and then comes herbs. When mosses develop into herbs, that is also called as hard grasses or very stiff grasses. When you call them as stiff grasses. Then comes shrub stages. What does it say? Shrub stages, the small plant which grows after the humus formation in the soil, that is called a shrub. These shrubs can be seen even in a floating water. These shrubs can be seen in the soil, and many more. Okay, and then the last but not the least, our forest stage. You can take any cruciferous plant, any cruciferous forest plant, any deciduous forest plant, tropical rainforest, any forest. Clear? These two things are clear. It is important, and it may get you 4 marks because these all are options. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every main options I'll tell you of the question. Crustose, foliage, and mosses. On the fourth one was both. That's all. Question is over. Here you're getting 4 marks done. कितना easy है बस. Once you choose crustose, बताया तो है क्या है पहला lithosphere का पहला first stage. Crustose lichens, that's all. Get 4 marks done. Over. You're getting 4 marks in your NEET exam for this question. Done? This is what it is. Now we are going to move to two things, and then we will move to our most awaited topic, that is biomes. Okay, now give the heading as. Now comes the next topic, that is habitat. What is habitat? Before this I taught you succession, that was also related to community. Habitat is also related to community. After this I'm going to teach you niche. This is also related to community, and that's all. We are completing our community. Clear? Habitat is the specific locality or area with combining factors, combination factors or combining factors of physical features, physical environment, barriers, It is a specific locality or area with a combination factors of physical features and barriers where individual population subsides. Due to change of climatic and vegetation, and regional climatic zone, there is formation of different habitat. Which includes scorching deserts in Rajasthan, soaked rain Meghalaya's, in Himalayas, and permafrost region. Now you'll ask me, ma'am, what is this permafrost region? I'll tell you after this biomes. We are coming on with biomes. You'll understand what is permafrost region. From now onwards, you keep it in mind that soil with the frozen ice. Soil with a frozen ice is called as permafrost region, and thunder chills, and last but not the least, there also comes a habitat which is called as the deep oceanic trenches, the mountain hills, top up mountain hills. Understood? Nahi understood. I will tell you how to understand this. Clear? Come here. How you should understand this? See, what is habitat? Habitat is basically a place or a locality where a group of individuals subsides or a group of individual lives. When a group of individual lives in a particular area with few physical activity and respond to its environment, that place or that locality is called as habitat. But due to climatic change or due to excessive change in the environment, regional changes, example of regional changes I'll give you. Somewhere there is rain and somewhere there is excessive winter. Somewhere there is summer. Why it's happening? Why is it so? There comes a question, right? But you know this is a regional variation going on. I'll tell you why it is happening, but this is the question, right? Why it is happening so? It is why? Because this is the reason where exist different types of region, different types of area, different types of habitat. A habitat is scorching in the sense dry place in the Rajasthan. It's a desert-like area. It's very dry. That is also one type of habitat. Similarly, you go to Kashmir, Himalayas. It's a cold place. You see ice. You see variety of beautiful top hill mountains. When you go to ocean, you go to Amazon, you found heavy amount of forest, you found heavy amount deep rivers. That is also habitat. Yeah, that is. When you go to deep oceans, you found trenches, deep trenches inside the water. Deep trenches is, what is this trenches? Trenches are the valley which is present inside the water. Suppose, I'll tell you what is trenches is. Look, have a look over here, come. Suppose this is your sea level, okay? Inside the sea level, this is the mountain. Heavy, deep mountain present inside the ocean. But few of this mountain get over and cross over the sea. That is referred to as what? Island. You remember? Beautiful island. We will buy, when you are a rich kid, you will have a dream. Ma'am, we're going to buy, once we become a doctor, we become a rich doctor, we become a professionist doctor. We are going to buy a beautiful island somewhere on a big, drastically beautiful ocean. Every beautiful dream it is, right? That is our island. This is our island. Come back to your dream and focus here. That, suppose this is a mountain covered by a sea. Mountain. This is all ocean. The mountain which crosses the sea, leading to formation of island. And where it goes deeper and again it crosses and it does not crosses, this is called as trenches. Geography में पढ़ा होगा 8th, 9th, 10th में. Deep trenches इसको बोलते हैं. और यहाँ पे कौन पाते हैं पता है तुम लोगों को? ये deep trenches में कैसे ऑर्गेनिज्म पाए जाते हैं? Mostly corals और polyps पाए जाते हैं. और इसी जोन को हम लोग रेफर करते हैं बेंथिक जोन से भी. किस जोन से? बेंथिक जोन. जहां लाइट नहीं पहुंचती at all. There is absence of light in that deep oceanic zone. No organism can survive over there with except those are decomposers. Decomposers are found deep inside the ocean. Why? Because they don't need light to survive. Producers which are found only in two zones of lake or river or a sea, which I told you very back of it. Remember littoral and limnatic, and then comes profundal, and the another zone is here I'm telling you, benthic, which is mostly seen in oceans, deep oceans or water bodies which are very deep like trenches. This is what one more example of it is. Scorching means very dry desert. Dry deserts in the Rajasthan. Rajasthan is how? A very dry area where mostly sandy area, where mostly winds, hot winds flew, right? Like that area. That is also one habitat. There also few individuals survive in that habitat. Not in our Pune. Our Pune is the coolest one, right? We have a cool climate always, 23, 24 degrees Celsius. That's more than enough for our Punekars. But it's not like that. And for the people living in Delhi, it's not like that for the people living in Rajasthan. It varies. How does it vary? It varies according to the temperature. It varies according to the humidity. It varies according to the rainfall, etc., etc., etc. Then you should ask me one beautiful question. Ma'am, why does vary? Why does it varies? Why there's no similar kind of temperature everywhere? Why somewhere it's summer? Why somewhere it's winter? Cool, cool, cool. Cool your questions. I'm going to answer it. Cool. So before going on to such questions, let me complete this. And the soaked rain forest in Meghalayas. You see beautiful Meghalaya, hefty amount of tropical rainforest in Meghalayas. That is also Adivasi people live there, right? That is also a habitat. What I told you habitat is? Habitat is particular area where group of individual go and reside there, go and live over there. Clear, that was habitat. Type of habitat I told you, scorching habitat, soaked habitat. Then comes permafrost region. Permafrost region is basically seen in tundra biomes. That will keep it pause. For now onwards, to understanding, it is mostly seen in Antarctica. सबको पता है वहां पर क्या पाए जाते हैं? Penguins, right? This is the region where you will get a frozen soil, and that soil is called as permafrost soil or permafrost region. That region is also referred to as frigid region. Frigid region. Clear? Get it. And then comes hot thunder chill, hot temperature. You know, there are few number of bacteria which even survive at excessive temperature, 160, 140, more than 120 degrees Celsius. There are few amount of bacteria which survive on those temperature. And what are those bacteria called as? What are those organisms called as, my friends? Not bacteria, because we are not reading living world, we are going through ecology. What are those bacteria called as? Those bacteria are called as thermophiles. Come on. Thermophiles. Those bacteria are called as thermophiles. And then I told you what is trenches. And the deep trenches are this one. So I'll explain you the deep oceanic trenches. This is also one habitat. Deep mountain trenches which are found in the ocean. Right? I told you deep inside the ocean these things are present, right? So what is this called as? What are the organisms which are present over there? They are corals, they are polyps, these are what? These are decomposers, these are diatoms which are found over here. Where this zone is also called as benthic zone. I told you when no amount of light reaches over there, and you mostly found decomposers over there, and that place is called as what? Benthic zone. 4 zones I told you which is mostly seen in the lake. What are those 3 zones I told you which are mostly seen in the lake? Littoral, limnatic, profundal. Remember previous class I have taught you about the stratification of the lake, and there we have concluded the 3 zones or the 3 surfaces of the lake. But what if it talks about ocean? Ocean is very deep. You would have asked me question, ma'am, what is about the ocean? As ocean is very deep, so will it have the 3 layers itself? No, it can have the 4 layer also. And what is the 4th layer? 4th zone of stratification in ocean, that is benthic zone. Never forget, only decomposers are found in benthic zone. Clear? And last but not the least, the top-up mountain hills or excessive mountain hills. You go to Panchgani, you will find beautiful long mountain. You can go to Monkey Point, Monkey Jump Point, and there are many more points. Sunset Point, you can see the large ectopic mountains which are present over there. That is also a top-up mountain, and that is also a habitat. There also people lives, right? Individual live, and there is also a survival of life. So that is also a habitat. Now we are going to see the next important point or the next important topic, that is niche. This is very important. Never get confused between the habitat and the niche. I'll tell you what is niches. Come on, just make a note of it. I'll tell you what niche is. The next topic, I have taught you habitat. Now I'm going to teach you about niche. बहुत जगह ये वर्ड सुना होगा, बहुत कंफ्यूजन होगा. What is this niche? Some call it, बहुत लोग तो नाइक भी बोल देते हैं. बेटा, it is not Nike, it is niche. It is called as niche, and it is the actual pronunciation niche ही है. किसी भी बुक में जाकर के देख लेना. It is niche. Okay, clear. Now let's come to the topic. What is the topic? The topic is niche. Niche is, it is the specific habitat. It is the specific habitat or a specific part of habitat. I taught you habitat in very clear way. Now just pay attention on niche. Niche is a specific habitat or a part of habitat, specific part of habitat where group of particular individual lives, which is based on basically based on the range of tolerance which is basically based on the range of tolerance, range of mobility or range of movement. You can put a comma, or range of food availability, and prey predator environment. See what I have said. What is niche? Suppose, before we go, I'll explain you like that. This is mountains. Few people live over here. Okay? These people are fair in color. They are also पहाड़ीज. अपने हिंदी में बोले तो जो माउंटेन्स के इधर रहते हैं उनको पहाड़ीज बोलते हैं, मतलब पहाड़ी के पीछे रहने वाले लोगों को पहाड़ी. और हमारे तो में बोलते भी हैं कि वो they are very beautiful people. Actually they are very beautiful. Okay? And then comes what? If suppose here subsidize few people, here also subsidize few people. This is what? Mountain. What is this mountain? It is an habitat. Put your attention here. This is what? A habitat. If this is a habitat, this is habitat, particular person living here, this community living here is fair, this is dark. Few community living here is moderately dark or moderately fair. Few community living here is moderately fair. This is what? One habitat. What is this habitat? Mountains. I have taught you in habitat, top of mountains can one of the region where individuals can survive. Haven't I? I have. So now I'm telling you what is niche. If this was the mountainous region present, here few individuals survive which are fair in color, here few individuals survive which are darker in color, here few individuals survive moderately fair. Okay? Now, there are but they are what? They have a same habitat. What is this? Mountain. Their habitat is mountain. Among habitat, they follow a specific range of tolerance. What do you mean by tolerance? It is a very beautiful word. It means how you are adaptable to someone, how much ability you have to survive, how much ability you have to suffer, how much ability, how much patience you have to get back to the things, get back to the situation. That is called as what? That is called as tolerance. Clear? This is the meaning of tolerance. Suppose I'll tell you in Hindi, it's a weird example, but did make a short of it example. In a home, there is one brother and one sister. Two siblings live together, okay? The one sibling is very notorious. He has to respond to everything what is happening to him. The another one is calm, cool, and very decent and have to be settled wherever she is or wherever he is. The another one is always anxious about the sister. The boy is very anxious and he's always anxious about his sister, what she's doing, whatever her work is. And the girl, who is very decent, very cool, has always adapting nature, tolerating nature. She's tolerating her brother. Why? Because she loves her brother. She loves that environment. Similarly, people living here loves their environment. They feel more comfortable. They feel more comfortable in the community, in the locality where they are living. Why? Because they have tolerance towards it. There is no comparison. You're also dark, I am also dark. We have a tolerance towards each other. We are similar. So that is what, on the basis of range of tolerance, you have acceptability towards each other. That is what? Tolerance. Then comes the range of movement. Your movement can be here, your movement can be here. This guy's movement can be here, 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 here. This is what their range of movement, where they are comfortable, where they are able to live, where they perform their function easily, where they interact with the environment very easily. This is what their location, this is what their locality. Not a locality, you can also say it is a specific part of locality. What it is a specific part of locality. And then comes the range of food availability and prey-predator competitive environment. This is also important. See, if we are talking about human being, let's not consider prey-predator ability, but what if there exists a lion and tiger community similarly? Lion and deer community. There will be prey-predator relationship, right? Right? There will be. So this all very much matters in the niche. And my friends, this is one niche. This is one niche. And this is one niche. Initially, I said niche is a specific part of habitat, or a specific habitat. Part of habitat. See, my friends, part of habitat. Our habitat was what? Mountains. We have seen mountains, how they were. We have seen how communities survive in the mountainous areas. And these are the parts of habitat. That is niche 1, niche 2, niche 3. After this, I'm going to tell you the very beautiful point, and the concept of niche is very clear, and then and there you get it. The point says, ecological niche accepts only one species. No two species. यार सिंपल सा चीज है, अगर चीता के साथ जा करके डियर रहेगा तो फिर तो पंगा होगा ही ना. Will cheetah or will tiger will not attack on deer? So can you think deer and tiger can survive in a same place? In a habitat एक हो सकता है, दोनों mountains में present हो सकते हैं, पर क्या उन दोनों का niche same होगा? Remember my friend, छोटे छोटे जगह को एक बड़े habitat में ही niche बोलते हैं. हिंदी में बोले तो बड़े जगह के छोटे छोटे प्लेसेस में जो उनकी कंफर्टेबिलिटी के हिसाब से हो उसी को नीश कहते हैं. समझे? क्लियर? दिस इज व्हाट इज. सो नो टू स्पीसीज कैन सर्वाइव इन वन इकोलॉजिकल नीश. क्लियर? ये this 2 points are very very important. एक niche, एक ecological niche is always for only one species. No two species can survive in one ecological niche. Clear? Next point is also very important, that the two niche species, when interact with each other, they are called as overlapping niche. What are they called as? They are called as overlapping niche. They are called as overlapping niche. बहुत आराम से पढ़ाया मैंने, सब कुछ याद रखना, ठीक है? and the number of population present, or you can say the number of individual, population is also right, but in a way you can say the number of individual present in one niche is called as niche density. What it is called as? Niche density. Clear? I have told you about habitat. I have told you about niche. I have told you what is niche. Niche is a specific habitat or a part of habitat that where a group of particular individual lives, and then comes which is based on the range of tolerance. I told you what tolerance is, how they are adapted to each other, and the range of movement, the food availability, and there comes other not prey-predator competition and environment. Clear? Then comes ecological niche accepts only one species. Only one species is except, I have told you in an example, mountain is a habitat where you can find different species, different locality located in a different areas. That is your niche. Clear? And one more thing I have told you, no two species can survive in one ecological niche. Point is clear? Then comes the two niche species when interact with each other, that is called as overlapping niche. And then comes the last but not the least, the number of individual present in one niche is called as niche density. Clear, my friends? In today's class we begin with the variations or the differences which are seen by the communities, those 8 points which are very important. Then we have gone through causes. What are the causes of the community? Formation of the community, biotic factors, physiographic, what are the causes of community succession? How do succession occurs with the help of communities? We have seen that. That includes what? Biotic and physiographic factors. Okay. Then comes the third one. What we have seen the types of succession. Primary succession, secondary succession. Clear? Till here we have seen everything? Yeah, we have seen it. After primary, secondary succession, then we have gone through various detailed stages of two important succession, that is hydrosphere, and we have seen lithosphere. Hydrosphere is also called as hydrax succession. Okay, and then we have come to a broader aspect of habitat. What actually habitat is? What is niche? We have seen in detail about niche and habitat. There should be no amount of doubt which is present in the habitat. Now if you go and solve the question related to habitat, question related to niche, it's really gonna work and really gonna work. Why I'm teaching you this all things? This all things will make you understand few things just like that. To make that cream very easily, you should know the bread amount of thing in a precise way. So my friends, thank you very much. After this, we are going to begin with a bio, maybe in the next class. So thank you very much and please do watch our video.